Welcome back to Dad's Foxbody Garage. In this episode, it's probably going to be a multi-dayer, but we're going to attempt to do some panel painting on Calypso with a spray can. So some of you may wonder, why would I want to do that? Well, I don't have money for a full paint job, and I'm not a paint and body guy per se. But I want to get the driver's door and the trunk the same color as the rest of the car. And I do want to paint my cheese grater taillights back there. So what I've done is I went to Painter Supply, like I mentioned in the last episode. Got a pint of paint mixed up, bright Calypso. And I don't know if you can see this here. We have 4 cans of base, 2 cans of clear, 1 can of the spray away glass cleaner, and I have a can of the epoxy primer. So with that epoxy primer, that's again a 2-part. That should seal everything up. I do have some sandable primer I'm going to be using, doing some body work. But first thing I have to do is pull the Stormtrooper out of the garage here, get a cover on that, and then I'm going to reposition Calypso more in the middle of the garage, because Stormtrooper is going to be living outside for a couple days, and it's really difficult to do anything this close to the car. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll pick you up when I get everything situated and show you what we're up against. Alright guys, so we got the Stormtrooper all covered up out here, and this is where we're at. I got the door handle off, which I had a reproduction door handle on there, so it was just bolted, so that came off easy. Lock popped right off, but unfortunately when I was prying out that clip that holds it in the end, it shot over here, and I don't know, it's MIA. I know it's over here somewhere, but I might just have to, spend the $1.39 at NPD and get another one. But anyhow, I got the, I think it's called a belt molding off here, and took the seal off because I already have a new seal. Where is it? No, that's the belt molding. Anyway, it's around here somewhere. It might be on a table back here. But what this left was, it's got a whole bunch of, I don't know, material, I'll just call it, left over from the old belt molding. So I'm gonna do my best to scrape all that off and around these things, because I don't want to interfere in once this is all painted with the new belt molding going on. Then I gotta do something with this transition here in case it sits a little different. I don't want to step there, because someone put some, it wasn't me, but somebody painted over this beautiful emerald green here with a really thick coat of primer. This is one of the 2 doors I bought out of that one gentleman's basement, for the same place I bought that block from. But yeah, I got it kind of pretty much stripped down. I did put the door handle back on, so when I close this, at least I can pop it open from the other side. But I want the window up while I'm sanding here, because I don't want to just totally fill the interior with dust, since I just spent so much time cleaning the interior. But you'll see. I don't know how much this shows up on camera, but unfortunately, this is one of the colors that fails miserably in the sun with the clear coat peeling off. And I actually fogged in a little bit here when I did the engine bay. But if you remember the engine bay, I used the same technique. Power washed, degreased, sanded, and then got some paint mixed up, put into aerosol cans, and sprayed that in with a 2K clear coat. Looks beautiful. So I'm sure what's going to happen, well, I'm guessing this is what's going to happen, is I'm going to shoot these 2 panels, and they're going to look way different than the rest of the car and way better, and I'm probably going to end up at least doing the fenders. Quarter panels, I may cheat a little bit. See if I can get rid of this pinstriping here. I don't know if I can get rid of that. Anyway, it's going to be one of those rabbit holes where once you start going down it, it's hard to come out. So I think because my primer is a two-part primer, and once you break that seal on there on the bottom, you only have like 2 days to do it or the can goes bad. So I'm going to start working on the door and start sanding it. I don't even know what this door feels like yet. And again, I'm not a body guy, right? So it might look like garbage when this is all done, but the old door that was on this side must have been exposed to the elements because it was really bad on the bottom side. So this door is really nice, like zero rust. But again, somebody primed it and I have no idea what's underneath. And I'm not going to go ahead and strip it and all that stuff. I'm just going to try to block it, see what I get. Once I get the door done, I'm thinking I'll shoot that with a filler primer and then go on to pulling the trunk lid off, setting that on a couple horses, and doing the same to that, because the trunk lid, it's got these little hinges you got to take off, and then there's like the spring mechanisms on the inside you got to take off. Then pop this off, remove my badging. But this thing, I don't think there's any dents. I did fill the it had a wing on it, which I wasn't crazy about, so I filled those holes, and I don't think that I have to do much to those anymore. Just get the scratches out. But I think I'm going to start when I get to painting. I'm going to have to cover up the motorcycle over here, obviously. But when I get to painting, I'm going to try to paint the trunk lid first, because that'll be horizontal, and that'll look, that'll give me my little bit of practice, or so to speak. Like that'll be easier than the door. But I do have to do them both relatively in the same amount of time, because I have the same thing with the 2K clear. Once you burst that cartridge or whatever is inside, you got a couple days to do it, and you want a clear coat shortly after your base coat tacks up. Otherwise, you can have separation, kind of like what we got going on this fender. Again, I'm no expert on this. I'm just keyboard warrior, YouTube, that kind of stuff. But I do have a little bit of masking, so we're gonna just that clear crappy drop cloth stuff. So once I'm all done, I'll clean everything, mask it, and we'll see how it looks. Probably won't get to the tail lights. I do have 2 cans of the what is that, the 2K clear. So I'm gonna try to do this in 1 can, and I think I can do it. If not, I guess I'll buy, I have 2 cans, but I was hoping to save the 2nd can for the tail lights. But if I have to buy more, I have to buy more. Tail lights are going to be a process though, because I want to paint the backs or the surrounds. I'll show you here. I want to paint this area here, if you can see that. I want to paint that black, and just the covers Colypso. I don't know. Maybe I'm making it harder than I need it to be, but I might change my mind on that later. But like I said, we're not making a real show car here. We're just trying to make it look better than it is. This, I don't know if for you guys that may not have been following all the way through, but these fenders, and what else was out there? I think it was the fenders and the hood were actually outside the first year I got it, and we had a big ice storm, and we lost branches, and it really dented the heck out of the tops of the fenders, because I had them sitting upright to be, to expose the painted side. And unfortunately, I got some pretty big, I don't know if you can see that, pretty big, there you go, dings in the paint that I'm going to have to hammer out from the backside and all that. But I expect, like I said, once I do the trunk and the door, I'll probably do the fenders. Fenders come off relatively easy. And then I'll do the cowl. But I'm trying to keep it simple and cheap. When you get these cans made up, they're not terribly expensive, but it does get a little pricey. I think it was like $20 a can. So really, I mean, it's not horrible. But all right, well, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to start blocking and scraping that schmaltz out of the top of the door there, whatever that is, from the molding, and we'll see you in a minute. All right, guys, so it's been a couple hours here, and you'll see we got the upper part of the door blocked. And I found two areas. Actually had a high spot here I had to tap down, and well, it was like a low spot with a high spot in the middle. I don't really understand that one. Maybe somebody tried to pop something out from the backside. And by the mirror here, you can see that pointing in the right spot. Yep. A little bit of funkiness there, but I think that's kind of common. And then underneath, I just had a small scratch and like a little gouge in my molding there. So I just filled that. Probably not the right thing to use on there, but it is what it is. It's what I had. And the deck lid here, got it pretty blocked out. There is a low point under the hinge here I'm not going to worry about. Took the chips out of the edges here. There were some pretty deep chips, but you'll see this trunk lid's got, what was it, 1, 2, 3 coats of paint on it? I don't know. Better than no paint, I guess. Same thing here. It's probably from the hinges not having that gasket I was showing you last week. But I got my Scotch pad out. I'm going to go around the like the trunk lock area in those depressions there, and I'm going to shoot it with some primer, probably that scratch filler primer. I'll wipe it down with oh, I forgot paper towel. I'll have to get some. Oh, probably shouldn't use that. Maybe I'll use my my Costco towels there. I'll wipe it down with some of that spray away stuff and shoot it with that scratch filler. And then I have some 600 I'll go over it with just by hand, knock any fur down on that. But while that's drying, I'll go back over to the door. So that's it for now. We're just going to keep going. Alright guys, it's day 2 on project painting Calypso here. I got some supplies. I don't know if I told you guys, but when I took out that lock clip that's in the back here for my tumbler lock, I was prying that out and it took off across the garage and I have no idea where it went. So I did get another one of those this evening. Got a couple cans of spray paint, the scratch filler primer, and I did get some what do you call that stuff, the putty, you know, like spot putty type stuff, glazing putty I guess, because I don't like this crack right here. You can see right in there. I'm not crazy about that. I know as soon as I get paint on that, it's gonna look like garbage, so I'm gonna take care of that. And my goal is this evening to have both of these. Well, this one here has the scratch filler primer on it. I just have to knock it down. I got some Scotch-Brite pads, some fine, medium and fine to do that. And but my goal is to get both of these in sealer primer. So this one I still need to do the scratch filler primer on and sand that down, sand the bottom of the door, which I'm dreading laying on the ground doing that. But and then once these are sealed up, I hope to be painting color and clear coat tomorrow. So that's the plan. I might do a time lapse on something here, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Not really too exciting to watch somebody sand, but I'll keep posting you on updates. Alright guys, it has been a couple hours, well, I guess about an hour and a half. Getting close to 8:30, and I should say, got this all blocked down. I used the scratch filler primer and then wet sanded that door down. I also filled, I wasn't happy with the gap here in against the door with that molding. You know, I know it's going to look different than that one, or I mean, they're all different, like the screw-on ones versus the glue-on ones. But you know what I said yesterday, how you start going down rabbit holes. Well, I'm going down rabbit holes. So tomorrow, I think I'm actually going to pull this fender off, because you can see all this clear coat coming off of here and how bad this looks. I'll pull that fender off because I think I'm going to spray that as well. You know, get the badging off and spray that. And I think I'm also going to do maybe from here down, you know, on the belt line, because the clear coat's, you know, all delaminating there. But then I'll probably leave the back quarter until we get this molding off here to do the top. And you know, I'm sure it's not going to match that great, but it'll match the engine compartment, because that's the same paint I have in the engine compartment. But you know, I mean, we're just trying to make this thing look better than it does. You know, I mean, the front clip could be redone, you know, the cowl could be redone, and da 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 da. But I'm really not a body guy. I'm just trying to make this thing look better than it does. And like I said, the last time I did body work, I was 15. When I had my my Pinto that my dad and I turbocharged. So that's really the last body work I can remember doing. I remember working on other guys' cars, my buddies' cars, but it was more like welding and stuff. I used to braze stuff, and oh, I did do some body work on that 70 Mustang I had. Anyway, like I said, for tonight, I'm just going to, I got that, where'd I put it? Thought I just had it. The two-part, there it is. Two-part primer. You know how this stuff works. You take this cap on the top, you press it on the bottom, you bust the bladder, and shake it up, and you have like a couple days until you got to use it up. So I imagine I'll probably use almost all of it here and here. If not, I may use the last of it up on the tail lights, because again, like I said, I want to do these in Calypso. Kind of rethinking what I was thinking before. I was thinking about doing this area here black, but I think I'm just making life harder for myself if I just do that all. It looks like those were all red for a red car, but just do the whole things in the Calypso green. It'll make my life easier. But masking all those little cheese graters off is going to be a chore. So alright, I'm going to spray this stuff, or get this stuff mixed up and spray it, and then I'll catch up with you in a minute. Alright, well, just like that, it's sprayed. I did notice something here. I don't know if it'll come up on camera. I can't even see without my glasses. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you can see that right there. Some kind of little dot to dot dot. I don't know what that's about, but I'll take care of that in the morning. And over here, I did get a run over here that I wiped and then resprayed, so I'll have to sand that a little bit, but the rest of it looks pretty good. I'm glad I did something with this seam here. I mean, there's a couple little pinholes here, but looks a lot better. So tomorrow, come out, turn the heat on, pull that fender off. Yeah, probably have to pull that tire off, so I might lift it up to get at the bolts from the back side. And start getting ready to spray color. See how it goes. At least on the, the door and the trunk, like I was saying, and then go on to the fender and tail lights. Maybe I'll make them the next spray, because like I said, once you puncture the that bladder inside those cans, you only got a couple days to work with it. But there's still a little bit of primer in that epoxy primer I just threw down. This stuff, still a little bit in here, maybe enough to do the tail lights if it still stays good. But I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I think it's looking pretty good. There is like a slight line in the middle of the door, like it's not really a scratch or anything, but at this point in the game, I'm not screwing with that. Like I said before, this is a rattle can paint job here. We're just trying to make it look a lot better, make it all one color, and I think it's coming out pretty good, guys. So we'll pick up again tomorrow. Good morning. It is the next day. So as you can see here, spin it around, I'll show you. I did manage to get the fender off this morning. Of course, I had one of the bolts start spinning in the nose piece, so that's always fun. Tried holding it with pliers, that didn't work. I ended up having to cut it off. I'll have to dig it out of the nose and put a new one in, I guess. I don't know. Something new. Anyhow, I had that spot on the trunk lid I touched up with some glazing putty. And if any of you guys haven't tried this stuff, seems to be pretty good. Pretty watery, the way spot putty should be, but it comes with a hardener, so within minutes you can start to work it, so that's really convenient. I had a couple spots on the door. Remember, I actually had a run on this side with the primer when I first sprayed it, so I took care of that. That was kind of a pain in the butt because this epoxy primer doesn't like the sand, but I got that all off and retouched that up with some last bits of that epoxy primer. Now I'm just waiting. I had one more spot right here on the end where it looks like a screwdriver may have been used to pop that Ford emblem off of there, but it wasn't me. I mean, I used my heat gun and just kind of melted the whole thing off, but looks like somebody had done that in the past. Other than that, we're just waiting for paint to dry. So I'm going to start shaking up some paint, trying to warm it up a little bit because it did get a little frosty last night. I do have the two furnaces going in here, so it's temperature is nice now, good for working, about 60 degrees, but everything in the garage is still a little cool, so wait for some heat to get in the paint, try to warm that up, and then I'll start laying it down. Well, I will say that I shouldn't be a body man for doing body work, but it looks pretty good. It's looking like what I'm going after here. It matches pretty much. But you throw a shiny coat of paint on there and you can see everything. There's some scratches in here. There's a ding. I don't know how I missed the big ding right there. But it looks a heck of a lot better than it did. As for the trunk, it's okay. I think that I probably should have hung it from something and sprayed it in the air, because I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, but when you have the can like on a 45-degree angle, it's not spraying evenly. Like the back of the fan is thicker than the front, and it looks like I got stripes on it. So yeah, whatever. You won't see that when you're driving by with the tires smoking. So anyhow, I'm gonna let this tack up a little bit, and then we'll start doing some clear. And I do intend on doing the back of the door in the jamb, but I really don't care about that. I'm going to use what's left in the cans to hit that area. But, that's not as important as what you see on the outside. I don't think I have enough paint to do the fender, but I do have enough to do the taillights. But I do want to do something with the fender, just because that clear coat is, I'll show you here, you can see it really well now. Clear coat's coming off, and it's going to be right next to a freshly painted door, so it's even going to look worse than when it was sitting next to a primered door. So I probably, once I do all this today and it's drying, if it ever warms up, I will do it outside. But there was frost on the cars this morning, like I was saying. It's a little bit chilly. But the body work on the deck lid turned out pretty well. But there's all kinds of trash in this stuff, I mean, I thought I had it clean, but there's fuzz and dust and whatever. I'm gonna try to I'll wet sand all this stuff out, with like 1,000, 2,000, all that stuff once I get some clear on it. And it sets up for a while, because it's gonna probably be a little orange peely and all that stuff. But hopefully it'll look presentable, and at least it won't be gray. That was my main focus. I keep saying that, but of course I want it to look the best it could look. But again, I'm not a painter, obviously, because I'm using rattle cans. My buddy Kevin did a really nice job on the hood. That's why we covered it up real nice, Kevin. Yeah, he's a lot better at spraying paint than I am. But anyhow, it will look better, and that's what I'm going after for now. Down the road, I might actually do a collaboration with a fellow local YouTuber. You should check out his channel. His channel is Sinker Swim Garage. He's doing a power tour Chevelle. It used to be a flood car. Super nice guy. Met him, I think it was last weekend or weekend before last. I think it was last weekend. He came over, bought some merch. We were talking for a while, and we were talking about doing a collaboration of painting Colypso, for real, because that's what he doesn't do that for a living, but he does that as a hobby or side job or whatever you want to call it. I don't really know. He's done a couple of cars anyways, and looks like he does real nice work, and he offered, so I'd love to do you know, work with him and do it with him, and make Calypso look better. But you know, that's down the road. This is because I'm tired of driving around with a gray door and I think it was like a midnight blue trunk with primer on it, and red cheese graters and paint flaking off my fender. So this is to get it better, looking better for this year, and maybe when he has time we can fit it in for a real paint job. So I'm gonna let this sit, and then I'm gonna hit it with some clear, and then I'll pick it up in a second. So there's a first coat of clear. It was going on real dry. You know, with that spray can, it's just difficult to get it real wet. Tried going a little heavier in some areas, and I got some runs. I will, you know, be able to get those out. A couple different techniques, you know, like this one up here in the door handle. You know, because of that angle in there, it created one, but probably won't see that too much with the handle. But I'll try to get that out because there's one visible. And then down here on the bottom, you know, I sprayed down and then sprayed up, and I ended up with a slight run there. But all in all, it looks pretty good. The trunk, however, I could not get that can of 2K to spray when I had it tipped on a 45-degree angle. So I did the edges and did the back here, and of course, you know, I got another run right there. But so much trash in this back edge. I don't know what the heck happened. Unless it blew up from the horses or something. I don't know. Nowhere else is there trash like that, but lots of trash in that back edge. But again, I can sand it out, but you're gonna have like dots. Repairs that I did where the wing was, you can still kind of see where the wing was. I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. I did use that sealer primer, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a painter. But it's coming along really nice. Really happy with it. But as I anticipated, if you look at the quarter panel here, let's see if I can get that in a picture there. There we go. If you look at the quarter panel there, and you look at the door, they look different. I mean, this molding is kind of crappy, clear coat, but I knew this was going to happen. When you make one thing nice, the rest looks like garbage. But I'm going to try to cheat it, and I'll probably show you guys what I'm going to do with that too. But my plan is to like from the belt molding or the door molding down, I'm going to fog and I'm going to sand off the bad clear coat and smooth it out. But with what I have left in my cans here, I'm going to try to fog in that area and then clear that from the line down to try to transition that. And then this fender, you know, this fender got beat up, right? So this fender was outside when I was putting the engine in and redoing the engine bay last year, and I had branches fall on it and got dents. So I'm going to try to fix the one dent or pop it out with my body hammers. And then I was playing around with just some clear coat and paint like a year ago, and gave me an idea. I think I'm gonna give it a light sand until the clear coat's gone, but not take the color off, or at least try not to. And then I'm gonna fog in some green and then clear coat that area as well. I think I'm gonna need one more can of clear. But I think I have enough paint. I have one unopened paint to do the fender and the brake lights. So I'm just gonna fog in some areas so it kind of blends, you know, because you need that kind of blend so it's not just a straight line transition. I know I'll have it on the upper quarter, but I'm not getting into that. That quarters need some rust repair in the back and all that. My main focus was to get it the same color. I keep saying that over again. Get it the same color so when you drive by it doesn't look like a piece of garbage. So I'm just waiting for this to set up right now. I went and got a new coffee, trying to warm up my my next can, make sure it's room temperature, and hit this all again. I'm gonna try to prop up that trunk lid. Yeah, I'm gonna do that first, and then I'm just gonna let this stuff flash off, and that's gonna be it. But you know, what a difference, eh? I mean, on that door. And that's just with spray cans. It looks a little splotchy, you know. I don't know if the camera picks that up, but it's the best looking part of the whole car, at least for now. But yeah, it's amazing what that 2K clear does. You know, it's not like the clear coat of yesterday where you could put, you know, 100 coats on and it would still look like garbage, like dull. This 2K stuff, man, it is really, I love this stuff. When I did my engine bay, I know you guys have seen the engine bay to death, but when I did the engine bay, I was sold, man. It was just like, wow, is that ever nice? So, all right, well, I'm gonna let this flash off a little longer, have some coffee, come up with something so I can spray that deck a little better, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, guys, thought I'd catch up with where I'm at. Not completely done yet with the spraying, but we're getting close. I had a visitor today, Glenn Robitelli. I hope I didn't butcher your last name, from Motor City Fox Fest. Stopped by and chatted for a little bit. Super good guy, talking about the show and you know, coming up in July, and talking about last year's and changes and all that stuff. I am a sponsor, or one of the sponsors to the show. Very proud of that, and we'll have a booth there with both cars this year, as long as nothing goes wrong. But super cool guy, got some awesome cars. Grew up in Livonia, the same city I grew up in, so just miles apart. So back to the car. So I actually have 4 coats of clear on the door, 3 on the deck lid. You can tell a little bit of difference, but the door was my main focus. Like I said before, I do have some runs, and for some reason the trunk has a lot of trash in it. So I will have to wet sand both of them out. I did spray the lower part of the quarter there, so that blends, because that side molding was horrible. So I masked it off and sanded the clear coat that was all, you know, coming off and everything. Sanded all that off and then blended that in. I thought that was like the best area to blend. I didn't want to mess with the quarters, like I was saying, because the top is going to be replaced. I've had that top for probably a year now. One of the first things I bought, but I don't want to do that until I'm done painting and all that nonsense. I don't want to pull that off. But when I do, I will probably do the quarters as well. At least maybe like blend in what I've been talking about, you know, on other areas. I did find that I have a, I think I showed you this before, I do have a dent here, which I didn't see when I was blocking it for some reason. I may try to pop that out ever so slightly from the back side, or I might just leave well enough alone. I did wet sand the fender. You remember that the, I can't really see it over here, it's pretty dark. I've been painting with a portable light, but the clear coat was coming off on this and looked horrible. I know there's still some dings and whatnot in there. I did use a body hammer and get out the biggest one from the branch on the top, but it's going to be a heck of a lot better than it was. Again, I need to not go down rabbit holes and just get something done. I'm not a body guy, so really doesn't matter how much time I spend on something, it's not going to look great in the end anyways. I'm more of a mechanical guy. Drivetrain, engines, I mean, engines are my favorite, but regardless, I think it's going to look a lot better going down the road. Now this is a good example of what the molding looked like. See how the top side is almost like white. Yeah, I think this looks a lot better, you know, in my opinion. I might shoot that again with one more coat just so it matches the door a little bit better. But that's it, guys. Oh, I did get the back of the door. Oh, heavy door. You can see on the back that you're going to see. I think I showed you, I tried to get that off and it was not coming off, so it can just be green. But that looks pretty cool. So the reason I had to paint this door, if you guys hadn't seen it from the beginning, was this side evidently took a lot more abuse than the other side, and the door was shot. The other door is in nice shape. The seam sealer is bad. It's just like shrunk up and needs to be chipped off. But I got this door out of a basement over in Canton. A guy named Glenn, who's passed away since. And really nice shape, solid wise. Does have a couple little dings. I did work a couple of them, but got the door and the trunk lid from him. Because the trunk lid, the original trunk lid, was horrible underneath. The whole bottom inch was just rust, and it had the luggage rack on there that I didn't care for. So anyways, this is where we're at now. It is 10 to 5. Been doing this all day. I did take a vacation day because I knew this was going to be a lot of work doing this, and it's been a heck of a week. And I won't even go down that road. Not with work or anything. Work is work. But anyhow, we won't go down that road. But everything's looking pretty good. And I'm going to bust open my last can of clear. And I think I showed you all this stuff before, but you know, the 2K clear. This was the epoxy primer that I used. Unfortunately, I have a lot of that left out of that one can, and it doesn't last too long. I'll have to figure out something if I need to prime anything else. But oh, let me show you the taillights too. I did get the brake lights done. I'm going to, I got base and clear on them. I just put them down here. They are dry to the touch, but I don't want to mess peeling all that masking off yet. I'll probably do that tomorrow, and then shoot the whole tail light with another coat of clear. But I think those are going to look pretty cool back here. They were all red before, but I think it'll look a lot more complete now. And I know, you know, there's some haters out there that don't like cheese graters, but I really like them. Like I was just telling Glenn earlier, you know, when those came out in, I think it was '87, You know, I would have been, what was I, 15 or something like that. And they were just the coolest thing, you know. I remember seeing a white GT, and I'm just like, man, oh man, that is really neat, you know, with the ground effects and everything, because the 85s were so different, you know, without the ground effects. But I've always liked the cheese graters anyways, and I just had to have them. You know, my buddy and I were at a swap meet one time, and about a year, I think it was last winter, in fact, saw them, and I'm like, oh, I gotta have those. But so there's gonna be a lot more to come. I might wrap this up after I do another coat of clear and show you everything in that stage. But that's about it. So I'll catch you on the next one here. All right, so I think that's it. Let me show you the fender on the other side here before my battery goes dead. So I did the whole fender. Again, I got some of the dents out with a hammer. Looks pretty good. Got the side molding off, and you know, got the metal strip off the back, sanded it down so I can you know, retape that on. But I think that's it for now. We'll see how it turns out. I gotta figure out how long I gotta wait till I can wet sand all this stuff and polish it out. But you know, I'm really happy. It's all one color. Feeling a little lightheaded right now. It's about almost 5:30, so I think I'm gonna get out of here and let this stuff do its thing, and gas off and all that stuff, turn the heat off. It did warm up today, but it was a little chilly this morning. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and look forward to seeing some messages, some questions. Again, I'm no expert. I'm just a guy out here trying to make his car the same color all the way around, and I think it turned out pretty good for now. We'll see in the long run once I you know, sand it and polish it and all that stuff. But I think we're getting ready for Fox Fest. So if you guys are interested in any merch, please go to my website here. Please like and subscribe. The subscriptions are a big help, and so are the messages. You know, YouTube likes to see that. And you know, send me some emails. I'll put my email here, and you know, want to see what you're working on and talk about it. And again, if you got any questions about any products I've used, feel free to shoot them off to me. But again, like I said, I'm getting a little lightheaded, getting a little loopy, so I'm gonna head out of here. Thanks again for watching.